Hi Raquel, it's Naima. I just had a chance to go through your portfolio and I am really impressed. It looks like you've been doing this forever. And I'm like, wow, what did we teach her? It looks like you just came in with all of these skills. Um, we've talked about your business card before, and I just wanted to say again that I think it looks great. I love the color flip that you do from back to front. And one day when you start hiring people, I'd love to see our other students' names on your business card working with you. So I think that looks great. Um, I wanted to hop over to your resume. I love how clean it is. I think anybody would have an easy time of this. I think the only comment that I would make is maybe take this line and extend it. I know that that's really small and shouldn't be a big deal, but just to be consistent, I would pull that down. And then I'd also like to see at least one like space here to give a little bit of breathing room between the next line, because I think that it looks really good to have a little bit of space before education. And then maybe like one more space here. I love that you've listed all of the skills that you've learned. One other thing that I was wondering, I know that in Janet's class you guys also do maybe like some like QuickBooks and things like that. You might want to put those on there as well. InDesign is actually just a lowercase I and there's no space. I know that that's weird, but I correct that to actually show InDesign. And then CAD is capitalized, CAD. Um, yeah, and I think those would be the only changes I would make. The only other thing that kind of stuck out to me was this looks really large compared to everything else. So maybe take this down, and if you wanted to bring some attention to it, maybe just make it bold instead of larger. So, excuse me. Pardon me, allergies, gosh. But overall, really clean, easy to read. In your portfolio, I loved going through this. I cheated a little bit. I added a blank page so I could see the side-by-side view. So let me start at the top. I don't know if this is what it looks like on your screen, but it's cut off on mine. So make sure that you fix that. And I wasn't sure why this little white line was here. I'd actually like to see a full image, a full page of everything. And your portfolio 2020, I think it would look great just to match this font up here. If you could just match it down there. This seems, I don't know, it doesn't quite go with what's there, but yeah, I'd love to see that down here as well. Now, going into it, I think everything here reads really well. One thing that I would like to see is here on the dots, they're a little bit heavy. So if you could make those a little bit smaller, whatever size they are right now, go at least half. But again, keeping on with that really good first impression. All the projects I think were laid out really well. I had a couple of comments that I'm just going to go ahead and skip down to. Everything read really well. Now my eye, I don't know why it does this, but on every page you've been really good and consistent about where the titles go and where the descriptions go, like these two. But when I hop up here, you lose that breathing space. So I would like you to hit enter and put exit passage and ADA compliant restrooms all on one line, which I think is probably what you wanted to do. I think because this snuck down on its own line, this got pushed up. So please clean that up. That was the only inconsistent one. And then everything else, again, beautiful. I love all the skills that you're showing off. One thing I did want to see was actually on your these perspective and renderings is they need to be brightened up just a little bit. I mean, you can see the white here, and I'm assuming this is supposed to be white. This is pretty gray. So if you could just hop into Photoshop and maybe play with the levels without losing too much of your work, I think that would be great. And same with this one. It's not quite as bad as this one here. They still read really well. So if you don't, it's okay, but that's just one thing that I would like to see if you have the time. And also, if you agree, this is all subjective. If you feel comfortable with where they are, please keep them. As I said, they still read really well. Um, Hopping down, this looks great. Now, I think this is the only page where I was like, oh, there might just be too much going on here. I don't necessarily think this plan reads well compared to this one. The wireframe is still on, and so having all of this like checkered pattern on top doesn't read really well. So unless you can bust out another PDF version, maybe I would leave this off and just show a larger version so everybody can really see the detail that you put in. So even the floor plan that's reading really well is hard to read just because it's at such a small scale. So if you choose to do both, please keep both of them on two separate pages and then maybe add one more so people can see your renderings as well. Other than that, that's all I had. I love seeing your photography, all of the other hobbies you had, even like your personal work. Again, it reads really well and it looks really professional. So again, just that comment of should this be pink all the way or what's going on here? So that's all I have, but I miss seeing you. I hope you're doing well. Please just send me a little update about how things are going and what you've been up to. Thanks, Raquel.